why I decided, instead of playing Skyrim this morning as I had planned, I was going to do this. So what they changed is his projectile speed. It went from 40 to 50, so it's probably a little more in line with Diva's Baby Diva gun speed. His passive no longer has, now I thought it was a 40-meter range, but it no longer has a 30-meter range. So not only was, the crazy antics of DSP Stanky ridiculous, in being way up in the skyline and, running around. He wasn't helping his team at all, except when he managed to drop down and get a boop that was really impactful. He wasn't boosting his team in any way, and a lot of people think because he does that kind of thing that Lucio's stuff must be unlimited in range, but it wasn't. Hey, Noel. It's actually very limited in range. It was 30. It went down to 10. So 10 meters is now his range for healing and speed boost. But they also doubled his healing. Or I shouldn't say doubled. 50% increase to his healing. So that's a significant increase. And that means his amped healing is better than Soldier's little thing that he drops now. So that's cool. But again, just 10 yards, 10 meters. And it was 30, now it's 10. That's going to be a big difference. It's not going to make a big difference to how I play, because I play right in the mix anyway. And I think the pros largely play right in the mix as well. So I don't think it's going to make a big difference there. And I don't think it was a nerf, to be honest. The only thing it's going to make a big difference on is whether or not that Farah in the air is going to get any of his healing, because chances are it's not. She's going to have to come back to him for healing, or rely on the Mercy or Anna or Zenyatta to put a healing on her. But I think Lucio Zenyatta is again going to be viable, because Lucio is no longer going to be the lowest heal in the game. I think he's going to be strong enough to keep a tank up when he amps it up. But that's what I'm going to be finding out today on the PTR. So his sound wave, his boop, actually now is directional. So it doesn't just boop. He can boop people in the air. He can boop people downwards. He can boop directionally, not just on one plane. And I think that's also going to be better to use in some situations. I think more control over the boop is going to be a good thing overall. And the wall ride now gives him a speed increase. So he rides on the wall 30% faster and gets a speed boost when he comes off a wall. So they're encouraging wall riding. So just to keep Lucio from being easy to hit, I always said, if you do too much wall riding, he is very, very predictable on the wall. It's very slow. He only has the ability to continue on the wall or to jump off the wall. Those are the only two things you can do on the wall. But now, when you get on the wall, it's going to increase your speed. When you get off the wall, it's going to increase your speed again. So I think it's going to make it so that jumping on and off the wall, just wherever you are, wherever you're riding, is going to keep changing your speed enough to make you just a little bit more survivable. That and his increased healing is going to make him harder to kill too, which I think is also really good. I wish they'd do something to make Zenyatta a little harder to kill. So that's that. The other thing they changed is in Eichenwald, and we'll go into a custom game for this. I'm going to play Lucio on practice range, But what I'd like to do is put together a custom game. Oh wow, they got competitive in here. And I'm going to show you the differences in Eichenwald and what I think that means. So, let's see. Add AI. You know what? I don't need to add AI. Settings. Skirmish. I don't think that's what I wanted either. Presets. Eichenwald. They've only got it set up for 2. Why Hanamura? Did they change Hanamura? Because I don't think they changed. Okay. Yeah, Snaky's going to be hard to hit, but hey, Adrian. All right. So you see this line on the ground? This now shows you what's in range and what's not. So the range is significantly decreased. And the bullets go faster. Not too fast, you know. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little faster than that, but this is what they changed right here. It's not a big change to Eichenwald, but what this does is the 2 biggest trolls to this area on defense is May and Symmetra. So what this does is it makes it so that putting a May wall right across this line does not block off people from going through this direction. So May can only block off this or this. She cannot block off both with one wall now. So that's a big difference. The other thing it does is it makes it so that Symmetra can't just put all of her stuff here, because then they can come out here and barely get touched by any of it. She can't put it all here because then they can go through here without touching any of it. So it makes it so that the only way to get through a May Symmetra combination is no longer you have to dive over the top or around the side with a Pharah or a Genji or something and get rid of some of these turrets so that people can get through. Or you get on here with a Winston and blow them all up. It takes away those absolute needs. Now they have to spread it out. You know, they can put 3 here and 3 here, or 4 here and 2 there, and hope that, you know, whichever way they decide, or they can put all 6 one way or the other, but they hope that whatever they decide, that's the way the team goes, and they get a wipe out of it. But they're probably not going to get it twice. So I think that's pretty big. So here's some of the wall riding here. Let's see. That is a significant difference when you get on a wall. I wish there was a way for me to take some damage here, so I could see the damage being healed up, so I could test that out. I guess I can test it out on the training grounds. But anyway, that's the only change to Eichenwald, but I'm glad they did it. And now I'm going to go into practice range.
Let's up the tempo.
So he doesn't do any more damage now. He just does it just a little bit faster. And I'm not the greatest wall rider, I'll tell you. Everybody knows this. As much time as I spend on Lucio, I'm just not the greatest wall rider. It's these outside corners that get me every time. But I think the speed boost is also going to let people climb faster, easier. Let me see. Let's find a corner that I can climb.
Check this out.
So I think that's a plus. Now, check this out. If I'm here and I crouch, I can boop him up in the air now. Whereas before,
Step to this.
it was a little bit different.
Yeah, time to heal up. Double time.
See, now that didn't go. That did.
Yeah, let's move it, people. Step to this.
Now wait a minute.
Push off.
It does very little damage to him. His punch does very little too. I think they should have given Lucio brass knuckles. He should do more damage with his punch. My sensitivity is at about 30, but that's because I don't have the ability on this generic mouse that I have right now to change my DPI. Am I taking no damage? Why am I taking no damage? What the hell? Why can't I? Why is it so hard for me to take damage? Is this? Oh, this guy can hit.
Feel the healing beat.
That's not bad for passive. Well, Torbjorn does more, but I don't think it's. I think it's 25 actually. I'm just watching their health. So just passive healing out heals their DPS.
Move to the beat.
And amped healing should be able to take them pretty much from just about dead to full, even with DPS on them,
This is patched up.
in one boost. Oh, not quite. Not quite. So the amp it up is still a little bit less, but I think it's going to make a difference.